Now, 70 years ago today, Rosa Parks, a civil rights activist, was arrested after refusing to give up her seat to a white man on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. Now, that sparked the Montgomery bus boycott led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., protesting racial segregation on public transport and becoming a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. A year later, the U.S. Supreme Court declared bus segregation unconstitutional. December 1st has been marked as Rosa Parks Day in several states and cities here in the United States, meant to honor her unwavering commitment to equal rights. Well, joining me live, I'm very pleased to welcome Derrick Johnson, President and CEO of the nonprofit organization, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, better known as the NAACP. Sir, thank you so much for being with us this evening. For our international audience, just remind us why Rosa Parks has become such an icon of the civil rights movement.
Well, in 1950s, Alabama and in the South in general, African Americans lived under a reign of terror. They were prevented from fully participating as citizens on basic things such as riding a bus. They were forced to sit at the back of the bus, drinking out of separate water fountains. The type of education they received, they would have to get off the sidewalk if a white woman was walking on the sidewalk. And her defiance of refusing to pay her bus fare after a long day's work and sitting in the front of the bus became a symbol of defiance, a symbol of what America should be for all citizens. And because of her bravery, we still celebrate her today.
And many years later, she would become something of a national hero. But I think many people don't realize that this was not just a random occurrence, right? Rosa Parks was a seasoned civil rights activist at that time.
Absolutely. She worked for the NAACP. She was the state secretary. She went and investigated claims of rape and lynchings some 7+ years before she became nationally known. She was not a meek, mild individual. She was a strategist. She had a lot of courage. Both she and her husband, Raymond, they were on the front lines of many civil rights battles throughout the state of Alabama.
And she was also active within your organization, the NAACP. How has it realigned its mission in recent years? Obviously, the civil rights movement has progressed and changed the goals that it focuses on.
Well, our focus is still the same: equal protection under the law, to ensure that every human being is treated with dignity. We're going to continue that fight. That's our legacy. That's our mission. And we believe that is something that every individual should appreciate, an organization that care about people.
And what lessons would you say there are from Rosa Parks that could go into effect today as you work toward racial justice in the United States?
When it seems as if all hope is lost and you're living under a reign of terror, it's the small things that can make a difference. Her small defiance of refusing to sit on the bus created not only a citywide movement or a state movement, but it became a part of a national movement to show that if you stand on principles and overcome fear, you can actually change how things are done in the treatment of people.
Now, earlier this year, members of the Congressional Black Caucus introduced a bill, legislation, that they hoped would designate December 1st as a federal holiday commemorating Rosa Parks' arrest. Why do you think it was so important for them to introduce this legislation? And do you think we're likely to see it go into effect?
Well, Rosa Parks is a symbol of democracy. If there was ever a series to say the people who make democracy work in America, she would be on the front page, probably on the front cover. Our democracy is ever perfecting, is not perfect. And if you see individuals from communities that have been targeted, misaligned, or treated poorly, and yet they stand up and overcome that treatment, that's the true sign of democracy. And so for the CBC members to introduce that type of legislation, they know that but for the defiance of people like Rosa Parks during this reign of terror, they would not be serving in Congress today.
And just very briefly, as we're almost out of time, on this Rosa Parks Day, what would your message to Americans be? Stand
strong in the face of tyranny.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on BBC News. We've been speaking with Derrick Johnson. Very much appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you.
Now turn